My name is Lock Baker. I own a shop called Eastern Fabrications, or EFab. This bike is my latest. It's called the Interceptor Mark II. There was an Interceptor 1, and I rode it for a long time and kind of got to the point where I'd found its shortcomings and wanted to push a little further. The first one was a Dyna, a Harley-Davidson, and as great a bike as it was, its suspension and rubber mount system just didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I kind of went at it and tried to re-engineer it, which is incredibly hard, and I give Harley so much credit for developing their system. But mine is based off the Arch bike and their rubber mount system, with their permission. And essentially, it removes one of the rubber blocks and relies on just a front rubber block. And the motor actually pivots in the rear and bounces on the front block instead of floating on two. Why I needed to do that was because that allows me to mount the swing arm to the chassis instead of to the transmission. And now that it's on the chassis, it performs more like a normal motorcycle. You know, it doesn't have any of the wag that's associated with the transmission-mounted swing arm that comes on a Dyna. And it also allows me to drive a monoshock. I figured if I'm going, if I'm going to reinvent the Dyna, I might as well bring it up into monoshock, land. So I came up with this whole design, and I really wanted to keep the profile of the bike, the profile of the chassis, looking like a Dyna, because I actually really like the way Dynas look. I didn't want to take that away. So, there are a lot of differences when you look closely, but from across the parking lot, it still looks like a Dyna. It still has the bones of a Dyna. In fact, the neck and the front of the frame is still a Dyna. I kind of back-halved it to make this work. But yeah, everything's handmade, all the chassis modifications, all the body work, all the metal work, all the tuning, the plumbing, the wheels were handmade, the swing arm was handmade, all the linkages, the sprocket, all the adapters, axles, nuts, intake manifold, handlebars, triple trees,
got the EFab touch,
foot controls, exhaust system. Yeah, I make as much as I possibly can usually.
Yeah.
The motor is a twin cam 95, and it's phenomenal. It's got a few upgrades in it, but I love this thing. It runs like a top, so I didn't need to go too deep there.
It looks like it's a blast to ride.
It's very comfortable, and frankly, I've never felt like a better rider than on this bike.
Easy.
Yeah, very confidence-inspiring. You're a little more centered on it than a typical chopper. I started motorcycles with choppers, so I never had like sport bikes or dirt bikes. Really, it was just straight to choppers. So I'm sort of working backwards from choppers to more like a conventional bike in a way. It's still totally custom, but yeah, it's great. I'm very happy with it. So.